Well, everyone, I suppose we knew that this day would eventually come, but I didn't think that it would be so soon. Yesterday, we had confirmation of the first Corvette C8 crash on public roads. Now, I am going to throw up a picture of the crash on the screen, and this picture comes to us thanks to Corvette Nut from the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, so I do want to say a huge thanks to him with sharing this photo and all of the information that he provided. Now, as you can see from the photo, the wreck is fairly severe. We don't have all of the information yet, but from what we know, this car was part of a convoy to the Yosemite Park. We also unfortunately do not have the current condition of the driver or the passengers involved in this accident, but we of course hope nobody was severely injured. Corvette Nut did share that witnesses explained the brand new mid-engine Corvette clipped the back tire of the SUV while making the turn. You can see this white SUV snugged up to the guardrail in the distance. Again, we don't have full confirmation, but my guess is that the SUV may have been hugging past the center line as they came around the bend, causing the Corvette to clip the rear tire. I could see a driver being distracted by a brand new convoy of Corvettes passing by and making a simple but disastrous mistake. However, it also could have been that the Corvette C8 driver was driving too aggressive and didn't make the turn sharp enough and then again clipped the back of the SUV while it was in its own lane. From the photo, it really is hard to tell. I will of course keep all of you guys up to date on this in my next video. Now, as we take a closer look into the image, we can see what appears to be an Elkhart Lake Blue Corvette C8 with major damage to the front driver's side of the vehicle. Now, less the damage, I have to say, the Corvette truly does look aggressive in this photo. The lines look really nice in my opinion. But moving on, we can see that the hazards are flashing due to the impact and even the airbag successfully deployed, which from this level of damage seems normal. You can see from the photo that there are no skid marks on the ground, so the impact was direct with little to no braking to help soften the blow. Even with extensive damage, it seems though that the C8 Corvette crashed in a way that it was designed to, where the damage area crumples, hopefully helping to offset the energy of the accident. One forum member did explain that the new Corvettes have a radiator bracket in front of both the tire and the control arm, and that accidents like this most likely damage the whole structure. That crumple zone really pushes into the structure. So it would seem that this would most likely lead to this Corvette C8 being completely totaled out. Most likely though, this was a finalized test mule that had quite a few miles on it and had been used a lot, and hopefully it wasn't a brand new vehicle since full production has not yet began. An ironic little fact is that the first recorded crash of the previous C7 generation Corvette was also a blue Corvette, as you can see in this image. Just a crazy little coincidence. Nevertheless, the most important aspect of the crash is that everyone is okay, and a collision such as this is never a good sight to see. In the instance like this, the PDR may actually be a great tool to help review the accident and direct who exactly is at fault. The PDR does have a dash cam mode that can record during your drive if so you choose. As I mentioned earlier, I will circle back with any new information that I have residing around the accident. So moving on, I wanted to share with you all the progress I have on speccing out my all-new Corvette C8. I have received hundreds of comments on my latest videos, and I cannot express how much I truly appreciate all of your thoughts. I know I want my car to be bold, so I've really considered the crazy colors such as Accelerate Yellow, Rapid Blue, and Sebring Orange. I have also shared with you all that I really want to get this car as soon as possible, and my local dealer has confirmed that I'm in the set of first allocations that they will receive, so I should be able to get my car in the first quarter of 2020. That is, unless I choose a color that is delayed. And of course, both Accelerate Yellow and Rapid Blue are delayed. I was much more interested in the Rapid Blue after seeing the video that I shared with you of one driving on the highway. That blue just really pops and would go really well with some black and carbon accents on the exterior of the car. But this brings me back to likely choosing a different color because I have no idea how long the delays will be for those certain colors. So it most likely seems that I will be ordering a Sebring Orange Corvette C8, and the Sebring Orange really looks good. I've seen it on a C7 Corvette, and I really like the way that it pops. Again, with kind of that black wheels and carbon fiber accents, a lot of that really meshes well together. I have the car spec'd out, and I want to go over all the options that I'm going to be choosing. I know we've kind of made a video similar to this, but this is kind of a big deal because I already talked to the dealer, the individual that I'm working with yesterday, and he wants me to have this order in done by Monday. So it's pretty crazy how quick everything is moving, and I don't even have pricing for this car. Supposedly we get that next week, but by Monday I'm supposed to have my spec'd out with options car available to give to my dealer. Now my hope is that I can make some changes along the way, but here I'm going to be speccing out a car and have no idea what the ultimate pricing is going to be. Luckily, I know I won't have any markup over MSRP, and I'm super thankful that my Corvette dealer is not going to be doing that. Nevertheless, I have no idea what the pricing of the 2LT versus the 3LT, and I saw on the forums where someone sat in a 3LT car and said that there was no way you could order anything out of the new Corvette but a 3LT with the full leather package. They said the interior was so nice and it was a huge upgrade over the 2LT. So that's a pretty big thing I need to consider, as well as the cost of all the other carbon accents on the exterior, as well as the high wing. So there's a lot of things that I need to find out, and I'm going to be sharing that with all of you. Alrighty, so here we are, we're in the visualizer, and this is my 2020 Corvette C8. This is kind of what I've spec'd out, and for the most part is probably what I'm going to be sticking to, unless there are some options that just push the car way further than I want to pay for it, because of course I do have a budget limit that I need to stick to, and this could be a pretty expensive build. So I'm going to go through, first we're going to take a look at the car in general. Here's the appearance. Of course you can see that Sebring orange tint coat, and I love the accents of the black and the carbon. I don't know what I'm going to do with the wheels. The wheels will be good starting out, but I might find a different design that I like better, but they absolutely need to stay black. I love this little carbon accent where the air intake is, and then I prefer the high wing. I definitely don't like the Z51 irregular spoiler. This is actually an option that I have to order and have it come into the dealer and then they install it. It won't actually come from the manufacturer with this on, so it has to be installed after the fact. But I really like the stance of this car, and we'll kind of take a look a little more around. Again, this is where I want to know your guys' comments. If there's anything you see that maybe you would change up, we can actually, I believe, make it darker. Oh, there we go. And then let's turn the headlights on. I love the lines of this car, and I think the color is really going to stick out and be a really fun car. The ZR1 looks so good in this format, so I think I'm really going to like the C8 in this format as well. So let's go ahead and turn these lights back on, and let's go ahead and go through what my options, because this is a pretty high option vehicle. So the exterior colors, of course, there's the Sebring orange tint coat, and I'm going to go with the transparent roof. This is a Targa top, so this will be able to be removed, and I've talked about that in my previous videos. I loved my C6 Targa roof because while this isn't a full hardtop convertible, this area pops off and can either be stored in the back or you can just leave it at home. And I like the transparent look of the car. I really like how it flows and you can actually see through it up, so while you're driving it gives you a little bit more of that daylight that kind of intrudes into the car, but it also will have some sort of kind of shade to it, so it shouldn't heat up the car too much. I just like this aspect a lot about the car. And if we take a look, body color looks okay. It doesn't look bad. I'm not have too much of an issue with that, but I love carbon fiber. But this looks to me not right. I think it's because these pillars don't match as far as with the carbon fiber. It just looks like a box of carbon fiber sitting on the top. It's not really what I care for in the look, so I think the transparent, in my opinion, looks better. You can see down into the car, and of course we'll talk about the interior here pretty quickly, but let's move on. So exterior, we've hit all that. Now performance, let's move over here. The Z51 package is a must. I will absolutely be ordering that. For anybody looking to order a car, I would absolutely try to ante up for the Z51 package. The things you get on that, even if you're not going to track the car all that much, resale value will be huge. Z51 is a pretty big deal, and usually the bang for the buck you get out of the Z51 is huge. Here we can see a few of the options: better performance suspension, this says available with magnetic ride control. Now, apparently that's an add-on option, so that's going to be probably a fairly pricey, but that's okay. We do get the performance exhaust and some better cooling through a third radiator. Moving on, we also will look at wheels. Now, if we take a look at some of these wheels, we definitely have to go black, I think, with this spec. There is the carbon flash option, but I don't really care for it. It doesn't look terrible, but I think that the black Trident is better. And again, this is something that I'm most likely going to be changing. And unfortunately, in the light, I've talked about this again also in a different video, but this lighting doesn't really show off the car. I've seen some pictures of this black Trident spoke design, and it looks a lot better with some correct lighting on it. So in person, I think this will look better. Unfortunately, this lighting just kind of looks poor. Then we have brake calipers. And unfortunately, my only option is really to go with black, because if we take a look at anything else, nothing really fits with the orange in my opinion. Now again, I'd love to hear what you guys think, but I don't think the red over orange really looks that great. I don't think it meshes as well. And I hate to go black over black, but this is something that down the road, maybe I can make a video where I pull the wheels off and we actually color match this orange. The orange would pop so well in this little area if we kind of had some breakup between black, orange, and orange over here. So that would look really nice, and it could be something that I do into the future to help make that wheel offset with a little more pop. Now moving on, we can go to the exterior, and let me pop over here. And this is where we have quite a few different options. I am going to do the carbon flash. This isn't really a huge thing, but the badging will look better with the carbon flash with my color scheme. So then of course we can look at the kind of area where the side air intake is, and I'm going to be going with the standard carbon flash. I think it looks the best out of all of the options. In my opinion, it looks pretty good. So then we're also going to be doing the visible carbon fiber mirrors. This is a must. And for anybody that's been a part of the channel for a long time, you know that I love carbon fiber mirrors. I actually wrapped my Audi R8s with some carbon fiber kind of vinyl, and it worked okay. It looked really good, but the vinyl started to fail because wrapping around those corners is so difficult, and it's hard to keep the vinyl from wanting to kind of pull back over time, and you can't do it in one piece. For my mirrors, I had to do it in two, and that made just kind of for a tough situation. I'm going to order these with visible carbon fiber already. Don't have to worry about any vinyl wrapping of the mirrors ever. Of course, then we also want to add tons of carbon on the outside of the car. We pretty much have it in every area possible. I'm going to be doing kind of the side, and that comes with the Z51 package. I'm going to be making sure that the side rockers all have carbon. The front splitter is also carbon. There's just going to be quite a bit of carbon on the car. And again, my understanding is this is probably going to push up the price quite significantly. So I will definitely be keeping you guys in the loop, but I'm very interested when pricing comes out, because I don't know what type of pricing I'm going to be looking at with all this carbon, as well as the high packages that I'm going to be adding to this car. Now, moving on from there, you will see that I have the standard engine cover set up. We can kind of move the visualizer up. There we go. And so I think the black looks good. Of course, there's going to be some red accents in there, but I like this. And then I am going to do the engine appearance package, and that adds lights. My Audi R8 has that, and I like the light system. So usually when you approach the car at night, those will light up and give a really neat appearance so you can see the heart of your vehicle. In addition, it looks like in this information panel, you also get some carbon fiber accent panels in there. So definitely going to be a beautiful looking kind of rear bay hatch. We then of course have stripes. I'm not doing any carbon flash. I'm not doing full length or mid length. I'm just not a huge fan of it. Some people love it. Totally fine, just not my thing. So I'm not going to be doing any, even on the front of the vehicle. It's just going to be kind of the plain paint color. We then have trims. And this is where I explained I am going to be trying to attempt to get the 3LT. I don't know the bump from 2LT. This again is my recommendation that you absolutely at least go with 2LT. The 2LT comes with some of the best features. The heads-up display will be very nice. Performance data recorder. This used to be an option that you had to add. Now it comes with the 2LT. You absolutely want to do that. And my guess though is the 2LT will be over $5,000 to actually get that package. It's probably going to be more pricey than the previous generation, but it's going to be worth it. You also get all of these different curb view cameras, rear cross traffic alerts, a lot of things that will help you drive the vehicle. That curb view camera will be a huge addition so that you're not scraping the front of your car on a curb, because for anybody that's been driving Corvettes, it's going to be a completely different feeling with that shorter nose. You're going to feel like you can't get close enough, or then you get too close. You don't want to be crashing the front nose of your car into a curb. So moving on from there, we'll take a look at 3LT. And this is where you get the higher interior kind of look of the car, and everything is leather wrapped. And again, that's where I saw a forum member that saw it in person, and he just really explained that buying the 3LT package is absolutely what you want to do. So he's kind of swayed me into that direction. So let's take a look at interior colors. This unfortunately is where I would say my car is maybe a little bit more bland, and let's go ahead and take a look at the car. It's still going to look really nice. I wanted to go with a crazier color if I went with the Rapid Blue. I was going to do the two-tone blue interior. Unfortunately, since I'm not going with the Rapid Blue, that doesn't really make sense for this car. But as we look around, I mean, it's a nice place to be. Everything's black. I do have the carbon fiber accent, but here's my little bit of pop. I love that they're adding a little bit of color pop through the seatbelt colors. If we take a look, let's see here. I obviously have the jet black. Any different color of stitching, it just doesn't make sense. The yellow doesn't really make sense. I think with Accelerate Yellow would be awesome, but it doesn't really make sense in my case. So I'm going to stick with the jet black, no stitching. I did think the Sky Cool Gray would look interesting, and it's possible that I look at this, but I think I'm probably going to stick with all black because I don't know, what type of wear you get. Black is an awesome color for wear. Like if I'm going to be driving this as much as I believe I will be, I want to make sure my wear stays as low as possible so that when I do go to sell this car, it's a high optioned, nice looking vehicle. We then of course have the carbon fiber interior trim package. That's a must. I'm going to want to have with kind of this more bland black interior. I know that the seat belts are nice, that they pop and match the exterior, but I want to make sure I add carbon fiber. I love carbon fiber. I think most people love carbon fiber, even though it seems like it's getting used a little bit more than we want. That's fine. I then have the GT2 seats actually selected. They give you an idea in here of what we're looking at. I'm perfectly fine with the GT2 seats. I don't think I need the competition. I know they've got the higher wear areas that I do like, and I think the GT2 is going to be a little bit more comfortable and a little less aggressive, but time will tell. It might be something that I change after I talk with the dealer on Monday. I'm not going two-tone most likely unless I go with that kind of cool gray look. Then of course we have our orange seat belts here. So yeah, that pretty much takes care of every option and how the spec out list of my car is going to look, and then we can actually go to summary and reserve now. So yeah, this is essentially my spec, and this is what I'm going to be sending to my dealer as we take a look at the vehicle. I think it looks good. Again, I'm waiting to hear your guys' opinion, but from what I've seen and what I've heard from you all, you guys seem to really like this layout, and I think it's going to be a fun car for the channel. Pretty much got everything listed. I wish we had pricing, so time will tell. Make sure you guys are all staying up to date with my latest videos by hitting that bell notification icon. That will help you know when I upload my latest videos, and you want to make sure you stay up to date because next week I'm going to be putting out a video as soon as we have pricing. We're going to talk about all the option pricing, the differences between last generation and this generation, and just how expensive my spec is looking out to be. So again, make sure you guys stay up to date with all of that. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful, fun, informative, please support my channel. Hit that thumbs up. It would be much appreciated. I truly appreciate all of your guys' awesome support. As always, take care. We'll see you next video.